to make it into editable PDF, but I want it to aesthetically look professional.
Yeah.
So I've been able to achieve that. And pretty much, of course, I ask it a lot of questions and things like that in order to find out certain things about life in general, of course.
Yeah.
But I know that there is a way that I'm not using it optimally. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's the biggest platform in the world, and I'm using it to do something so simple as whatever, but it can be used more broadly to help
100%.
me with probably everything in my life right now.
Yeah. And so I think what's probably the best way for us to start with this is to actually just focus in on how a couple of the different models that are within ChatGPT, and
Okay.
then how you might want to use them, as well as the general framework you can use. And then we can also talk about the building out of projects within
Right.
ChatGPT, how you want to
Okay.
use those, why they're important, and what you can get out of that. So let me
Okay.
share my screen, and I'm just going to show you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So in here, ChatGPT interface, it is exactly what you're used to seeing. Nothing too crazy.
Right.
On the
There is a
left,
couple different models though, right? Because I went
yes.
in to try and download the app for my computer, and I don't know which one I should be actually downloading because it's like at AI chatbot with a ask assistant with a chatbot, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
So you're going to just download Chat. I don't know if it's going to say, but it's going to
I
look
see it.
just like this. It's
Chat
going to
G.
be ChatGPT. It is by OpenAI, because that is the only one that you'll touch for your phone. Any other one is another company that has created an app that goes over top of it. And so it's like a wrapper, so to speak. That's what that is called. So they're using OpenAI and then layering other things on top of it. You
So
don't
I
need.
got that on the phone. So on my Mac here, though, if I wanted to add it on here, do you know which one it may be?
Same exact thing, but honestly, you could just do it in the browser. There's, you'd be totally fine just going into the URL, just
Oh,
like you do on
URL.
gaming.
Okay, and then
So
logging in that way.
yeah,
Okay.
that's more than reasonable.
Am I going to need a separate account for OpenAI and ChatGPT? Because I already have OpenAI, but that's something totally separate.
Organization, so you can
Right.
actually log in with that same one here.
Oh,
And
okay.
here, you can manage your plan. They're different plans because this is using their chat interface and the other one's accessing their API. So one's for doing your own development using their AI, like calling it, doing retrievals and
OpenAI, that's one, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So their open AI API, right?
Okay.
ChatGPT is just a product of
Of
OpenAI.
it.
So it'd
Right.
be like
Okay.
the iPhone or the iPad or the Mac. They're all
Right.
from
Right.
Apple.
All underneath Apple. Got
Correct.
it. Got it. Okay.
But yeah, great question. So you can use this. What's interesting is if you go to OpenAI, you can go to their website. They recently came out with, you have downloaded the app, so you can do that. But they
Okay.
also added in search. So you have, here's your mobile, here's your desktop. This Chrome extension
Uh-huh.
is actually giving you the ability to just use their search feature, which is if you hit tools, web search. Basically what happens is instead of you using Google, it would auto take you here and it would put in as like best restaurants near
Wow.
me, right?
Okay.
And then what it's going to do is it's going to do a search based on my location and then make its own assumptions and give you a list back.
Okay.
Same thing. So here, right, of course, there's a typo. It does its thing. It's looking at where I'm at, looking at these data points. What it's
Okay.
doing versus looking at Google Maps is it is actively looking at links and pages and reviewing these pages. So the search feature has a lot of capabilities. Really, though, for most instances, you would use this search feature when you're doing like deep research on a topic or you want to understand something. Let's just say there's a news piece that came out, right? About,
Right.
I don't know, water, something is not as controversial, right? For some people is like the water quality in your area out of
Right.
your faucet. And I want to look up the reports of how good is the water in my house. Do I need a fancy water filter? Do I need a
Right.
reverse osmosis machine to clean it up or whatever, right? You can come in here and be like, hey, I live here. I'd love to know about what the water quality is like. And do I need to worry about this? What do I need? You could ask that question. It could go and do that research. It's sitting here doing all of this research, all for this one piece.
Wow.
And it's going to come back with, eventually, once it's done, it's going to come back with a list. This is like the deep research one. I didn't get into the different model pieces in here just yet, but I'm going to wait for this one to come back so you can see the output. So here it's giving you some recommendations based on the area, what you could expect for the people, you mean, and then it's going to have links to all of these as well.
Wow.
And so this is pulling all of the most recent up-to-date information,
Right.
which is really cool. Now, you could still technically have done this, probably because of the search topic, probably almost just as fast using Google search, you mean,
Right.
but this might help you if you know like your area, Uptown, South End,
Right.
Noda.
Right.
Here's the thing probably to just go check out. And then if you want to go do something next or go check out a different place,
Yeah.
it's giving you all this information that you just
Yeah.
wouldn't have. So yeah, so this can give you a lot of deep research without doing anything
And
yourself.
that's just simply by adding the internet search bar down there in the search on the web, right?
Yeah. So
That
how you
field.
do
So it
that?
has different tools.
Yeah. So currently it has its ability to do deep research, which
Right.
is that's part of that piece I was talking about.
An image in itself based
Yeah.
off of
Whatever
whatever
we give
you
it.
explain it.
And then we have Canvas. It's actually been a minute since I've used Canvas, but we would want to do a different topic. So
What would you do on a canvas? What happens?
Yeah, good question. So Canvas for code predominantly, but like let's just be like, I have this platform called Aqua Voice, which is this little module that shows up.
Where?
So I have this little black bar right here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If I hit the plus sign on my keyboard, it gives me the ability to just talk and type. Look, it does have this feature here, but sometimes the dictation here just isn't as good. And so I'm just going to do this. So can you go through and build a very simple pop-up module for a website with a nice white background saying subscribe for more information, first name, email address, and a submit button. Make sure it uses H and JavaScript.
Wow.
And then this is what it does. So it will be able to go through and capture and generate this.
Okay.
And so then it's going to give us the ability to preview this output here once it's done, which is super, super cool. So Canvas is sort of a function or tool that you can use jumping straight into having it help you build stuff. Now, I will say ChatGPT is good at writing code, but there's other platforms that are substantially better, like quite a bit, but it can still get you something. To me, it's just their versions are just typically not as pretty. This works. This is cool. They are getting better, but there are some like really, really, really good versions that you can just do with Claude. I lost you. You're good.
Yeah, I got kicked out of there for a second. I don't know what happened there.
Now you're good. So with this, ChatGPT is good at coding, but there are platforms that are substantially better, which is Claude. And I don't know if you saw the other video where I talked about like website stuff, but it is much better at developing.
Yeah, I watched it and it's actually still pulled up here because I'm basically going to go through what you did step by step and put my own information kind of sort of and then start just building in Windsurf based off of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And see how far I can get from that.
One thing I would recommend, you should go and find website examples of businesses that you like.
Okay.
Yeah, and use those in your references. Be like, hey, I really love the color, for the style, the formatting, the layout, the etc. Use this to help build out this page, or tell me, or even better, you would use that. So let's use that as an example here, use case for how you would use ChatGPT. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
So for ChatGPT, this platform, it has a bunch of different ways you can do this. But again, first, once we're in here, we will want to select 4.0. We
Okay.
could do 3.0, but 3.03, I mean, it's super, super deep research. There's a time and place for it. I think for this instance, we don't need something that tries to function as like a super deep thinker. We need something that just can understand what we're wanting to do and help build a plan and a
Okay.
framework for our content, right? For our pages. So let's say we really like, I don't know, Apple, right? I'm just going to go to the Apple website and I'm going to be like, I love this design, right? For
Right.
this example, like I love this homepage design. So I'm going to come in here to chat, be like, hey, I am in need of you. Actually, I'm going to just say it this way. Your job is to take on the role as a web developer and a sales marketing guru with a heavy focus on helping local businesses generate conversion oriented websites. I have a website that I really love the design and feel of. If you could please review this website and use its style and its formatting, its user experience to help provide a framework and structure that we would use to build my own website. My website's only going to be a one-page based website, so we need to focus on the formatting for a single page, but use the brand and the website that I give you as a primary reference point for what we want to do. So I'm going to show you this and I'm going to tell you what the framework sort of is here, right?
All right.
So the framework for this, and I'm going to share with you, is I give it a role,
Right.
I give it a task or a
Right.
goal, I give it like or facts or details. So I'm giving it something to reference, which is
Right.
the website. I give it the form or the structure or what I'm looking for, which is, hey, I want this to be the formatting and the structure of the page. And I need you
Right.
to look at these things of that website.
Right. Key points, certain
Yeah.
things that you want.
I'm not saying write the words that are going to be on the page. I'm saying I
Right.
want you to help me figure out how to make the page look how I want it. Does that
Right.
make sense? There is a
Yes.
difference.
Yeah.
So reference, and we have ChatGPT 4.0, totally fine. We can just run with this. Just as this is, we could add in deep research. So, but this goes you and gives you context. And then here it is. So it's going through and it understands these pieces, right?
Subheaders. Oh man, that is amazing.
So like it's giving you pain points and structures and formatting and input and ideas for sections, right? And so once we've done this, then we can go and be like, hey, I need you to help me put together the structure or the formatting for my website. Okay, so this gives us everything that we need. So technically, you could use this, and we would do a secondary question here.
Right.
Here.
Asking you if you want to turn it into code.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, we won't use this to be write our code. We want to use this
Right.
to give us our
Just
work,
our
our framework.
information, the workflow.
Then we can move
Framework.
it. That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yes.
So I run that targets medical billing facilities, drug treatment centers, and really helping them with their medical billing services as a whole. Can you go through, maybe ask me some questions, help me ensure that I'm giving you correct and up-to-date insights so we're able to build a page that really presents me and my team as experts and leaders in the space and ensuring that we are presenting ourselves with a unique advantage against our competition that drives people to want to book a call and have a conversation with us. And then with that, I want us to update our framework to match the stuff that my business and I do. So I can use that to build our website. So once it's gone through and done the structure and the formatting and giving us insight, now I'm doing my secondary information where I can provide it more context and clarity.
Right.
Where you can dump both of these things in together, right? Like one piece you could do is you could take all of this that it gave, be like, hey, here's an outline of Apple, and then also add this with that same prompt, right? So this way it doesn't like get distracted. But we're going to be able to, we should be able to run this in here and be just fine. All right, so we've given all this context and information. Boom. You mean, so here's the things where we can go through and we can sit here and answer all of these questions, right? And this is stuff I can just give you, and then you can answer these questions outside of it. And this will help give you like a really good framework we can use to answer stuff. But what's cool is I can go and just, I'm just going to do it like this. Sometimes I'll just copy paste all of this. And, right. So like we could quickly run through this as an example if you want. We can try to jump through this and try to answer these questions.
Let's see.
So how would you want to say this for exactly what do we do? Technically, it's the second one. We specialize in preventing and the management of claims and audits, etc. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
We predominantly specialize in the prevention and the management of claims and audits and payer appeals to ensure that people are not getting, well, the companies aren't having issues with payment processing, etc.
Auditing.
Processing.
Auditing.
I can do this. It'll understand the context.
Right.
Ideal company, ideal client or company size, USA. Drug treatment centers. We don't have to give it extra details.
Okay.
Biggest problem is probably structure, formatting, like the team organization as a whole.
Yeah. Clinical documentation, structure, prepayment reviews.
Clinical documentation structure, clinical reviews, and internal processing and management of
medical
the,
records.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Resulting in
Prepayment reviews. And audits. Yeah.
What would you say is your unfair advantage?
Yeah.
Basically everything, but we'll say end-to-end training and management and resource allocations for the team.
That sounds great.
We typically do a individual audit and then retainer-based work. Yeah, your example is a great reference point for something that we've done. Highly dependent on each space, but within the first 60 to 90 days, typically.
Yeah.
It's all internal proprietary ecosystems that we use that our clients get access to by using us as their partner. There you go. That's your fun way of saying it. Of like, we got stuff.
Yeah.
We ain't got to tell them shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I liked your existing answer, so just use your current one as a foundational reference point, and we can change it from there. How many years experience do you have in the space again?
Overall, 7 years. I mean, well, more than 7 years, but 7.
Close. Yes, I have many, but let's start with the one that you've shared us. Great. And then this is just trying to run through these pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. This is amazing, man.
So this is, by giving it all of this context and clarity, you're going to give it a lot of information. And in fact, how we're going to do this to make sure we get a really good output is I'm going to take this and we're going to do a very bulk, super front end heavy prompt for our second iteration. Because I'll show you this, like it'll still do a good job, but what's going to happen is we could probably get a better output if we started all of this over, but using everything that we've just received from it.
Okay.
Hybrid. modern, innovative, and real talk in a sense, but we want to be like realistic and talking about the truth and the key problems they're really dealing with. Yeah, we want them to just book a call with us. Discovery call is typically the first step, and then we go into an audit. Okay, so we're just going to take all of this. Great. So like how this should generally work, to be honest, is your first time you talk to AI in a chat should be the biggest input that you give it. Really, most of your responses should not, from thereafter, should not be this in depth. The reason is the further you go down into chat with conversations like this, it will start to lose context because there's so many words and it can hallucinate, which is why I'm saying we can still get a really good output here, but it will be better more than likely if we take
use that information.
Hey, you're probably bleeding cash, right? You know, and it gives us context and clarity and things we want to talk about. So all of this together can really help with what it is that we're doing, how we're trying to do it. We don't need this, but let me just show you an example. We can keep this simple now.
Right. And then you drop that over into a new one, right?
Hypothetically, you could just take what I got as an output if you're just trying to be quick and dirty and do the following. Now we come into Claude.
Right.
And we can be like, hey, please take all the following information about the structure and the formatting and the stylization of this one-page website and build out a page using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Please reference everything that I'm sharing and use that as your central entry point for how it should be designed and built. Boom. And so then I've just given it literally like a bunch of context here.
Yeah.
Copy. Reference for, hold on here. Yeah, there we go. This will be fine. So then we're using this thing here called Claude Sonnet 4. This thing's going to should build a pretty good website, honestly. And so this is going to go through and build a website, the one-page website pretty quickly. The difference with this is that, as I said in the previous video, this version is going to drop all of the CSS and JavaScript and the HTML into here. What you can do is you can take all of this, drop it into Windsurf, and then tell Windsurf, hey, break this out into its own files, right? So it's going to do this. You can come back to it. But this is like this is a simple example of how you can do this. Now let me give you the version that you would use if you want to make this like super bulky. It's a bulky piece, but let's just take all of this. And you would want to open up a new chat. So your task is to review the following Apple documentation and framework and structure that I've captured, as well as my website structure and formatting and outline, and then help me to build a all of the expected information that I should hand over to a developer for them to build a high-performing one-page website for my business. Feel free to ask me any questions if you need them. However, I think this pretty much covered just about everything that you need. Great. So again, what it's given us a task to review this. Here's the documentation. Now we come over here. It's a lot. It's a big old bulky piece here. We could take this over of our frame of our actually business. Oh, nope. Pause. It's okay. It's fine. Sometimes if you do that and you hit the enter key,
the enter key too far. Yeah, I did that a couple times.
Website, initial website ideas. Let me come over here. Actually, here. Boom. We're going to do this. Questions to questions, my bad, answers to may ask. Boom. So we've just given it the Apple framework, an overview of our
Yeah,
business,
the
answers
same
to
thing,
potential
right?
questions.
Before it even asks you, pretty much, because we
Boom.
already did the framework.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now it's not going to lose context, but it's got a lot to review. Boom. And then here's where it might go and add extra questions, right? But like here it is, structure, copy blocks, design notes, anything else you want it to have. And we can just answer these real quick. And we can actually add these into here. It's a small team. We got all of them. I don't know, but can you provide answers? If you don't have an answer, sometimes you can always just be like, think of it yourself, because sometimes you don't know what the answers would be offhand.
Yeah, it's been a couple $100,000. I was counting some money out the other day, like on the spreadsheets here. It's like just based off of the documentation I'm sending in for these guys, they're getting paid like crazy money, man. Whereas if somebody sends the wrong thing, they don't get anything, and you have to appeal and you got to do all this stuff. So it's pretty valuable what I'm offering these guys, man.
7+ figures and savings annually across our clients. USA, think of what will work well. And we can send. Great.
That is amazing.
Great. So now we've answered a ton of questions, giving it a ton of detail and context of what we're doing. Look at this. And then it's ready. So boom, developer ready handoff for us. It's going to give us all of the deeper pieces, and it's going to give us better output. Audit anxiety ends here, calling out directly to your target customer about their problem.
Yes.
You mean experience, compliance, why you, here's the different things you may want to talk about. Visual showcase, talk about what it is, how it works with you.
And all of this is built for one page?
Yeah.
That's...
And so then you could take all of this. And again, your other version still is probably going to be pretty good. But like, here's this version. It still is not doing terrible for a first draft, and it's not giving it any real extra context. You know what I mean? For it to build the page. It's a little long. It could probably be better. But now we can come in. We're going to try a different chat. And I can just drop it all in. We're just going to hit send. Build a website based on using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Send. Boom. There we go. Now it's going to be able to do an even better job than the previous one. It can easily understand probably the styles and formatting and the structures we'll probably want. So this is great. Okay. Now, this is cool, but what happens when you want to go and build a design for a PDF or an infographic or a social media post or whatnot? Well, that's where projects come in. So how this works is you open up your sidebar.
Right.
You'll come over here and you'll see projects. You have all of these chats, but you can also come over here and click new project. So new project, you would probably just want to go and give it, your business. So we'll just call it Cole's business. And once you've done that, your goal here is to try to give it all of the key information about your business, what it is that you do, your branding, your logos, your fonts, like anything you can think of, who you talk to, who you target, how you help them, right? What your process is, etc. Giving it all of it, you can just start dropping in these files here. And then what that allows this to do is you can come into the project, right? And go and start
dropping
talking.
Dropping in what files?
Good questions. So let's say we have this one page website framework, right?
Right. Okay.
Let's say, I'm just gonna have it do this for us. Can you go through and build a branding doc for me based on everything that you currently know that I can use to replicate the design and formatting across multiple different assets that I may generate over the lifetime of my business? If you don't have an answer on something, just make up your own answer for right now, and we can always fix it later. Great. So here you go. Boom. It's going to go through and build like a super high level overview of your business, right? Basic branding guidelines.
Okay.
So here's who we are. Here's what we do. Here's who we help. Brand, voice, tone, messaging, all of these things. This is all the context and clarity that, let's say you were trying to hire someone and they were going out there to write content for you and your business. They don't understand what your branding should be, how you should talk, how you think, who you help, how you help them, why you help them, the outcomes that customers should expect. They're not going to be able to create really good content, you know what I mean?
Right.
For you. It was going to be pretty flat and unrelevant. But us giving it all of this is a ton of information. There's no way that a person would normally remember this, right? Is we could now copy all of this, come into our business page.
Okay.
And if I actually create a file, I'm just going to create a text doc real quick. Cole's branding. Oh yeah, my file is empty. Hold on here. All right. If I just take all of that, right? All of this information.
Right.
And I save it. Save. Close. Boom. Open. Great. In the project, when I go to that project about my business, I don't ever have to give it any of this information anymore. It just remembers it.
Wow.
Does that make sense? You know, every single
it's in
time
that file, everything you jump in there, a part of the memory bank.
Yeah. So, you know, every single time, sometimes you go in and ask it a question and it keeps asking you other questions. You're like, man, I've already told you this before. I don't have to keep writing it in. Well, that's how you can use this. So using this to your advantage, you can come in, save that information, right?
And then drop it in there.
Yeah. Let's just say like this is, I'm going to rename file photo. And here's my photo of me and my logo.
Right.
So now it's going to have my logo and a profile image of me. I could just keep adding in as much documentation as I want about what it is, what I do, how I help people. You could put in your sales process or your, I mean, you probably won't do this, but like an Excel sheet of your projected growth for your business month over month. But let's say that I did this and it's like, hey, can you go through and build a LinkedIn post for me? And from the perspective of me as the owner of the business, targeting my ideal customer, and think of like some type of problem that they have, 3 little ways to solve it, and a call to action to talk with me. So it's super high level. So I don't have to give it as much context and clarity as I would before.
Right.
It already knows silent killer of healthcare revenue.
No, you already went off the information. Yeah.
So now look at this. Now it already has something. It's probably good enough for you out of the gate. You mean?
Right.
Now
That's
generate
crazy.
Branded image that I can use with this post. And it's going to have, I have my branding colors in there. I have my logo in there. I have my color and profile image of me. So it could use all of these things as references. But if you did it in the project and not in a chat window, like you'd normally go here, then in the chat, you'd always have to re-give it all of this information. Whereas if you create a
do it in a project, it's already going to use the information that's already in there.
Correct. Even better, it stores these conversations.
Yeah, under its own file. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I got it. Because I was always wondering that too. Like I know it keeps like a record of all of your entries and what you've asked it on this day and that day. But if it's a project that I'm working on, it's gonna I got it.
Yeah.
completely.
So it'll take a minute, but then it'll also stay in here as well. So let's say you have your files here. You can also train it. You can give it context and clarity of like how you want it to work for you, right? So maybe in this project, you only ever use this project for it to write content for you, right? For your
Right.
website, your sales and marketing materials and what have you, right? So you can do the following. You can give it that initial input, be like, hey, you're going to give it a role, you're going to give it a task, you're going to give it its overall outcomes. And it's going to reference this on top of whatever you put into here, right? To give
Right.
you a better output. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So let's just do that as an example. Hey, you were to take the role of a sales and marketing expert for my industry, and your task is to help me with all things sales and marketing and ensuring that I get the best, highest performing outputs in every single thing that we do. If we end up coming and having to generate a image or something, feel free to ask me extra questions. And if it's something that you can't do or you need more information, function as a expert level consultant and make sure to provide deep, insightful questions that can help tease out answers where needed. However, if you've already got enough information, just help me do the thing so we can keep things moving along as fast as possible. Great.
Wow,
So
that's
just
amazing, man. Because I just had this thought process of creating like a sales pitch. So I'm basically going to be going in and doing what you just did and asking it to create a sales pitch for me. So when I'm speaking to, I know a lot of this, but it's going to make the process a little
so much
smoother. It's going
better.
to make it sound professional. It's going to,
Yeah,
so it's basically I'm reading a script like they do when they try to sell you on something.
exactly. So
Wow.
let's do that in this instance, actually. Can I have you actually go through and write a short sales script that I would use for cold calling a prospect that I have just done cold outreach to via email and LinkedIn? The goal here is to try to get them interested and drive them towards having a chat with me.
It's in the project.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's giving you some different structures and
Structure.
styles to
Yeah.
do.
No, no, absolutely. It gives me a
Um,
little context and I can kind of change things around and
yeah,
redo it
exactly.
and make it better.
Yep.
That's amazing, man. This is
Great. And then, so like here, now it's going to save the other one, but like, look, here's that previous chat that we did.
about the post.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boom. And of course, this might not be the best that we want.
It'd really be better if you put that with image behind it, a nicer image
Does
maybe or
not.
something.
It is a visual.
Yeah, a visual for it.
Like if you don't have any context, you just I just don't want text. Can you just make like a cool design that references
Right.
related to it? So yeah, this is like a good little example of what you could expect.
Man, this is amazing. This is so much information on just a short call, man. I surely appreciate it.
Yeah,
The
of course.
videos, I'm going through there now, and I'm anxious to get in there and figure this thing out now.
Let's actually come over here and see. Let's see. I think I might have hit my limit. I'm all logged into my free plan.
Oh, it's all good. I know, like one of my phones, I'm only logged in to ChatGPT. I'm not logged in or something, and then I think I hit my limit or something like that on there too. So I gotta
Yeah.
update.
I will say though, I feel like these images can be so much better through here, but this is okay. You know what I mean?
No, that's something.
But look at that. That's at the end of the day, that's not terrible. If you use that with this, it's okay. I think a better piece would be you creating an actual video of you talking about something over something. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about an actual problem.
Right.
But this giving you everything to dive into and talk about makes it really, really easy. Again, I hope this has been helpful.
Man, it has. It's been
Is
very helpful.
I mean, I know we only had so much time here, but is there any other questions you had that you wanted me to like jump into for you? I
No,
mean,
man, I think you went over quite a bit here, man, and I'm kind of blown away by it, and I'm trying to retain everything that you've
hey, it's all
shown
good.
me and
Again,
everything.
this is a video, so you can check it out. You know what I mean?
Cool, I appreciate it.
So, But yeah, walking through this stuff is always really nice. And you're able to have something that really you can walk away from and know that it's going to have a really good output for yourself. I highly recommend using projects in ChatGPT, doing anything consistently for a topic, even if it's like, oh, I'm doing a diet. I want a diet, right? And here's my
Right,
goal.
right.
Here's my objective. Here's what I want it to be. Like, it's another perfect little example. I'll just give you that real quick. It's like Cole's dieting. This is how I would use it if I wanted to use it as a nutritional coach.
So
right?
this is a new project.
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah.
Dieting.
Yeah. Hey, I need you to function as my nutritional coach. I'm trying to lose 10 pounds in the next 90 days. I need you to help give me all like nutritional and fitness advice to help me achieve my goal. I predominantly like eating veggies and meat. So it should be like light and fresh meals, but I need you to help keep me accountable, give me ideas and cues, and identify things that would destroy my dieting process, or at least help make my, if you could, hopefully try to make my dieting process easier so I can do that. So think of that as you're my consultant and helping me achieve this task. So I give it super basic input. I save. Making dinner for my family tonight. What do you think I should make?
Understands because you already gave it some information about what you
Super
want to
basic
eat.
context. You would want to give it more information. Like you'd
Of
actually want to put
course,
in,
of course, but you just
right?
putting veggies in there and some meat, and then it's like
Yeah.
already took that information that you gave it, and now it's creating something based off of that, right?
Yeah. Now let's take a picture of food. I'm going to save this image. This is a cool one. Okay, I made this dinner. About how many calories do you think are in this for the entire family? And how much should I put on each plate? So that way I'm not like overeating. Great. Add photos and files. Here's a photo, upload. Great. We're going to upload this photo. It's able to review the page and it's going to be able to read. Oh, of course. So sad. I was expecting, so typically it can process images like this. Oh, it's because it's actually put in a super tiny photo. That was my bad.
It wasn't big enough.
Yeah, if you took
the
a photo
pixel,
of your
the
meal,
pixels. Yeah.
like your actual plate, it will be able to estimate how many calories are in it.
No way.
Yeah, you could put it in there and
That's
it's like, oh,
crazy.
one chicken thigh is probably this much. So like if you use it as a day-by-day dieting piece,
Yeah.
if you created a project and then came in as like day one, right? Hey, it's today is April, whatever, or June,
Take a
whatever.
picture of
Hey,
your plate.
my meals for today, right? Hey, for breakfast, I had this. For lunch, I had this. For dinner, I had this. Here's my snack. It'd be like, hey, great job. Here's your goal. Here's where you are. Here's where you're on track for.
Wow.
So yeah, I hope this is a
Man,
cool
this is
little.
amazing, man. Yeah, absolutely. I have a whole lot of more context on how to use this thing now.
Good.
I'm anxious to see what it comes.
Hey, that's totally fine. Well, sweet man, I gotta jump off. I have another call I have to be getting to, but I hope
All
this
right,
has been
man.
helpful.
I appreciate your time, man. It's been so helpful.
Awesome. Well, sweet man, you have a good rest of your day. I'll talk to you later on.
Have a good
Hey,
one.
see you, man. Bye.
Peace.